is English Country and English book to read today. The Magic Treehouse by King Ships at Sunrise. And we can have to start it for chapter 1 and the end of chapter 2. Okay. And are you ready for... Oh, not ready. Now one more time, start the reading about it. Some Dirty Birdie Fashion Story, chapter 4. And we can just start it for chapter 4 and the end of reading this fashion story. So that's mean new book 2 again. And did you really ready to read these 2 books and 2 stories? Now here we go. First, you can read Dirty Birdie Viking Ships. Oh, it's not Dirty Birdie. Magic Treehouse Viking Ships at Sunrise. Chapter 1. Before dawn, Jack opened his eyes. The thin gray light came to his window. His clock read 5 a.m. All was quiet. Today we're going to Engine Island. He thought and back more than 1,000 years. Morgan Le Fay had told him that in a very dangerous time with Vikings raiding the coast. The lake came whispered, and Annie stood in the doorway, and she was dressed and ready to go. Yeah, me to go outside, said Jack as he climbed out of bed, and he pulled his jeans, t-shirt, and sneakers. He put a secret library card to in his backpack and his notebook with a pencil. And then he hurried downstairs. Oh, Jack and Annie was so excited to meet the Vikings and go to an ancient island. And Annie was waiting for them in their yard, and the air was stamping menacingly. Ready? She asked, and Jack took a deep breath. I guess, he said, and he was a little worried about Vikings, but it will be started. And they walked silently over the dreamy grass. Then they ran up their street and into the frog-free woods. And Mrs. Clunk was still the trees, and they walked into the dark woods. It's hard to say, said Jack. Where is the treehouse? Said Annie. I have no idea, said Jack, and then something fell in front of them. Watch out! shouted Jack. They covered his head. A ladder! cried Annie, and Jack opened his eyes. And the rope ladder from the magic treehouse dangled in front of them. And Jack looked up. The treehouse didn't head in the nest. Come on, let's go, said Annie. And she grabbed the ladder and started it up. Jack followed. They climbed out the window of ear in the treehouse. Hello, said Morgan. I'm glad to see you. Oh, Morgan was back again. And she was sitting in a corner, and her feet were still scrolled they brought back and from a Roman times there go bamboo folk from an ancient China. I'm so glad to see you, said Jack. Me too, said Annie. And it's good that you both came early, asked Morgan, as she reached into her flips and a rope and was folding a piece of paper. Here's the ancient story. He was fine today, she said, and Morgan handed in the paper to Jack and their roots. Empress Mega. Serpents Mega? What does that mean? And the minister was just writing the mind, and Jack up the writing from their trip into the Roman town of Pompeii. And that looks like an airplane, he said. Very good, said Morgan. It's airplane, but I thought there was spoken in Latin and ancient Rome, said Annie. Are you going to be island? You are, said Morgan. But during the Dark Ages in Europe, an incarnated people wrote in an ancient. The Dark Ages? Jack said. Yes, said Morgan. The time after the fall of the Roman Empire. Why is it called the Dark? Said Jack. It was difficult time, said Morgan, and people had to work very hard to feed and clothe themselves, and I know a lot of them playing, learning, or making an art and music. But it's very fun to make awesome things. And Morgan pulled a book from a rope. Your research, she said, handing it to the nanny. A tale will read on island long ago. Remember, said Morgan, your research book will guide you. But in your darkness hour, only the ancient story can save us. Jack and Annie sat together. I remember, Breeze, said Morgan. It must be your darkest hour and there's no hope left. And if you can't ask it too soon, it will not come. Annie will have to find a story first, said Annie. That was true, said Morgan. You have your secret library cards? And Annie nodded. Show them to this person you meet, said Morgan. Don't worry, said Annie. I think we're ready now. And Annie put in her cover of her island book. I wish I could go there, she said. She gave Morgan a little wave. See you soon. Good luck, said Morgan. And the wind started to blow. And it's been faster and faster that everything was still. Absolutely still. And now chapter 2 right now, the steep climbs. And tomorrow we started for chapter 2 and then of chapter 3. Okay. And one more time, start after reading about it. Some Dirty Birdie fashion story, chapter 4. And Bertie geeked and juice. They blinked by in bright spotlights. A million other people wasn't staring at him, and this was a nightmare. There obviously been some terrible mistake, but none of the boy Bertie should have been standing up here, not him. And Bertie looked around for some way to escape, but Clara was glaring at him from the curtain, and she waited for him to walk when there were another models of spring poses. And Bertie glooped. No way doing that, not in Cora's third yellow tracksuit. It was time for a speedy accident. He sat down on a skateboard and scored a few steps, and he pushed even hard. Zoom! That's what happened. And he whizzed around the stage, and he passed rows of surprised faces. And he introduced and clapped. And thinking all a part of the show, Bertie looked up and gasped. Another model had turned around and they were coming back. His hand in straight up them. Out of the way, he yelled. I can't crash. He pulled right into them, and the models were scared and a goose. And Bird and a football was bounced off the lady in a firm row and squashing her head. And Bertie sat up and rubbed his head. And luckily, he seemed to be okay, but something but the model was clambering back on the stage and they didn't look too pleased. And Bertie glanced around and saw Clara embracing Dalton. And he was trapped, as maybe not, jumping off in the stage and field and dropped and bounced. And 5 minutes later, he reached the ground on the floor and stood panting for breath. Luckily, no one seemed to have followed him. And then zipped and caught them in yellow tracksuit and they were ready to beam. There you are, Bertie, cried a voice. It was Mom! Oh, goodness! What a lucky Bertie. And never this life had been in, felt so glad to see her, and she hugged him so relief. Where on earth have you been? No, special, said Bertie. I am looking for you. And he decided it was probably better not to monitor the business upstairs and Clara. And Mama was only asking the no-word questions. Didn't you hear an announce? She said. They read out your name. And Bertie shook his head. He didn't hear it, Annie sang. And what's that in your face? Makeup, said Mom. And Bertie turned right pink. And he had forgotten all about the makeup. Oh, yes, he said. I bored waiting, so I was just trying on. And Mom frowned. She had never known Bertie was interested in makeup before. And still, the man was thrilled, and she followed him safe and round sides. And right, Thursday stayed out of my lips in the future, she said. Now, let's see about those shoes. Oh, it's already by the shoes at the Clara's Market. And now the Anna reading the Dirty Birdie fashion story, and the Spank story, and the Harry story, and the fashion story was all the end. So there's a new book and new story too. And now, Dina Halfbed and US English, Contra Comics and Metabooks and US Goodbye. And our book children will be goodbye for now. The Dirty Birdie fan story with some scary vampire and Dracula and Bertie and Eugene and Aaron and Mr. Grunch, I think. Mr. Grunch will be better for now. And some Harry with a Eugene and some haircut and some very, very, very dirty hair will be better for now. And Bertie will buy that for this Harry story. And a fashion story with Clara and Lara and Bertie and some makeup and Bernie will be better for now. And some awesome models and some shoes, new shoes will be better for now. And this one book and 3 story will be better for now. And we will be seeing some new book and new stories, so I'll be very excited. And the 30 Bird Magic Treehouse. Viking ship at sunrise. Tomorrow we see these Viking ships at sunrise, okay? And some Vikings will be seen tomorrow, and Jack and Annie will be seen tomorrow, and Morgan and Jack and Annie's mom and dad will be see tomorrow, okay? And one book will be one book will be another book, another story, but one book will be the same book